Hi folks, Brother Rudy's our photographer. We are at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. It's absolutely marvelous. We've been there all this morning, and right now we're sitting in JC Unit 1.
That's right.
John and June's bus. Steve and Rudy and I were up in Pocono, Pennsylvania many years ago doing a show, and we all got in the airplane the next day, all the troops, the Statler brothers and the Carter family and the Tennessee Three and the Gatlin boys, and we tried to land in Erie, Pennsylvania, and when we came down, the runway was like that and the airplane was like this. So the old boy turned it like that, knocked about a foot off the left wing, bounced it around and flew it back, took it off and flew it over Lake Erie and dumped some fuel. And June just laid over on John's shoulder. She said, "John, I just can't fly anymore, John. I can't do this." And so John got up and went and knocked on the door of the cockpit and said, "Son, this is Johnny Cash. I don't think you ought to land this plane, boy." And the flight attendant came and got him and set him down. And then after all that, finally we decided to go on a bus and lease the bus and get back home to Nashville because John had American Oil commercials the next day for which they were paying him $100,000 a day. So we rented a bus, but before we got out of the plane, June just stood up and said, "Children," because that's what she called all of us, "Children, if you want to go ahead and fly home, you can, but I just can't fly on this airplane anymore. I just can't do it. I'm scared to death. And we'll take you home on the bus if you want to." And a little nun, about 3 rows up from me, stood up and said, "Well, if y'all will take me, drop me by Minneapolis, I'll go with you." She thought June was going to take everybody in the whole plane home on the bus. So anyway, we chartered a bus and got back home to Nashville. And about 6 months later, John and June bought this bus and used it to travel in the rest of their lives and career because they just got afraid to fly. And I don't blame them. Sometimes it's a little spooky. But it's baby blue, just like their bedroom, and they were wonderful people. He was the man in black, but she was the woman in baby blue. So just a little travel log. We miss them, but they're always kind of hovering right above us. So God bless JR and JL.